It has been 65 years since Israel came back into their homeland given to them by Yahweh through the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Ezekiel prophesied that they would come back into their land in 1948. Just a couple of days ago, today I am actually recording on Shavuot, which is Pentecost, and just a few days ago we had Israel's state holiday. They came back into their land in 1948 on May 14th, so it's 2 days on this calendar because they start at sunset and they go to sunset on the next day, so it's kind of like 2 days. And that is, they've got 2 days for a holiday there. And just to show you something interesting about that, if you have not seen my prior videos on these topics, let me show you this. Obviously, it's been 50, if it's Pentecost right now, and if at that time in 1948, right before Pentecost, they came back into their land, well, the very next time that Passover, which is the first of their feast days, the first of their holy days, and Tabernacles, or Sukkot, which is their seventh of their holy days, could happen, would be in 1949. Now, why is that important? Because the Lord's feast days, which were given in Exodus 40 and also Leviticus 23, there are 7 holy days, and within those there are 3 high holy days, which are the ones on the end, 1 and 7, and the one in the middle, number 4, which is Pentecost, which is today. The high holy days are the 1st, the 4th, and the 7th. Now, what's interesting is that these are blood moons. These are full lunar eclipses, and what has happened in the past is that when there is what's called a tetrad, which means there's 4 in a row, tetra means 4 in a row without any partial lunar eclipses in between those, and when they land on the Lord's feast days of the 1st and the 7th, meaning Passover and Sukkot, 2 years in a row, Passover and Sukkot, Passover and Sukkot, some massive things have happened to the Jews in the past. This is a chart that that you can get from me on my Zazzle account, but all the way back here is the Spanish Inquisition, when the Jews were kicked out of Spain and persecuted heavily. And then what happened here is they came back into their land. This is marking just after they came back into their land. Their government wasn't actually set up until 1949, so this is pretty much official here. And then the next time that this prophetic tetrad happened on the Lord's feast days was in 1967 and 1968. And of course you know that in 1967 they got Jerusalem back because they were not in control of that. But another one of these tetrads is coming next year as of this recording, 2014 and 2015. These, I believe, are all prophetic, and I'm certainly not the only one that believes that. If this is new to you, what's also interesting up here, you're probably wondering what these numbers are. Well, the spacing in between these first 2 here is 19 years, and the spacing in between these two are 48 years, and that pretty much right there says something, doesn't it? 1948. So 65 years ago was 1948, and Israel came back into their land. And now what we are looking at is this upcoming tetrad. This is how we're looking at it with a different scale. These letters up here are the months. Right now we are here in May of 2013 as of this recording. And we just had a partial solar eclipse, and we just had a partial lunar eclipse in April. The next one that we have is going to be a hybrid eclipse in November. And then in April 15th, begins the prophetic lunar tetrad, which I have been calling the tribulation tetrad, because what I believe that this is that the Jews came back into their land, and this marked that event. The Jews got Jerusalem back, their capital, their city, the holy city back. They got the Holy Land back, I'll just say it this way. And then they got the Holy City back. And this one, I believe they will get the Holy Temple back. Holy Land, Holy City, Holy Temple. And if that is the case, Revelation 11, numerous places actually in Scripture say that the temple will be rebuilt. Revelation 11, which is a mid-trib chapter, shows that temple. So, in Revelation 11, we've got, in the middle of the tribulation period, we've got a temple, and it has not been built yet, but it needs to be built, and I believe that it will be built, starting to be built in this time period, because halfway into it, the Antichrist defiles it.